Hey, what's up, everybody? All you thousands and thousands of people out there watching, what's going on? I am just joining or just creating this stream to get on here and show you what I'm working on, and well, here it is. Like, so I did this thing here. Let me turn this off. Hold up, there it is. Okay, so yeah, flatting. Who knows about flatting? It's so tedious and no one enjoys it. Typically, you don't use like really bright, vibrant colors when you flat, but I do that so that I can see that I have selected everything, and I use a high contrast like this dark color behind me so I can see that did I get my subject? Is everything good? Like right here, right here. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! That's a mistake. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to that layer, and we are going to remove that. Yeah, we're gonna remove that, and I've already got that on. So I love using this selection tool. There you go, and then I think right here, there you go, and then I'll do the same exact thing for the base color because I know that there it is. Look at that red peeking through. Shouldn't do that, but all good, all good. So, oh wait, there we go, and then alternate. Whoop, there you go. So there, that's been taken care of. Yeah, so that's what he sort of looks like, and you can just go around the whole subject, and you just kind of like, okay, did I color within the lines? That is the biggest things. As long as I colored inside the lines, we're good. Look at that face. There we go. Nice. Everything looks cool except for that one little part, but I'm glad you saw it because that's exactly what I'm looking for and what I'm doing. So right now I'm working on the buildings. So as you can see, they're all different colors, and the reason why they're different colors is so that when I am using the same base color, I am able to select the building that I want to work with. And like this here, I have purple and sort of a brownish color, or a pink and sort of a brownish color, so that I can select when I create a new layer, and then I refer to my flats layer, which is this one. I can, like, so let's say I grab the color picker and I say, okay, I want to grab all of those. You see the marching, they call it the marching ants. It's only selected that so that I can color. Let me just grab a pen so that I can color, and I'm only affecting this. So if I wanted to, I can only affect that. As you can see, let me make it a little bit different. Let me grab this. So right here, boom, look, there you go. So I can just make streaks, do whatever, and then I'll go back through and I'll individually grab these little rectangles that I made for the windows, and I'll do the same thing with that so that I can select the windows and color the windows. This will be a night shot, so some of the windows will have lights in them and illuminate and all that, and that'll be cool. So that's the point of flatting. It's very tedious, but it can be very relaxing because all it is just going through and selecting different areas, different parts of it. And I've got this thing also checked, which is the lock transparency pixels. So when I'm going through here, and let's say this building right here, for example, let's pick another color. I grab this. Let's say I only want to select that. See, it will not go outside of, because the background is on a different layer, so it will not go outside the bounds of the building that I'm working on. So then what I would do simply with this one is go from this corner to this corner, select that, and then the same thing here, select somewhere down here, and then somewhere up there, and then that way that's different. So I can work on the the different sides of the building, and and that's how I can do that. I can color that, and if I go down here far enough, I can grab the paint bucket here and just fill in. So just continue to do it. Now, for this shot that I'm working on, or this this piece that I'm working on, there's not a whole lot of buildings that I have. So if we kind of scroll back, grab it. Mainly it's just this area on the bottom left is where the city lives, because he's perched up on this this building in the foreground, and therefore I don't need a whole lot of detail or anything behind. So what we're gonna have in this particular piece is a lot of sky, and I was contemplating on whether or not I wanted to place the moon behind him. It would be a full moon for to match the comic book. But yeah, I was whether I need it or not. There's still going to be moonlight that's bouncing off of him, and also off of some of the buildings. But whether or not to put the moon in the shot, not too sure. But still thinking about doing that. Let's see. I just want to say, hey, what's up, Pink Lady? Does that show up? No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. Anyway, nice. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to continue. And what you want to do is, when you're going through here, you want to pick. You want to pick a different color, and that way, when you're selecting, it makes it a lot easier on the colors around. The colors around the building. As you can tell, like these are all. This is a dark color back here. This is a sort of a lavender, and then this is the cyan or the light blue, and then that way and then click there again, and then pretty much done. Then again, I'll have to go through here and select the individual windows. But what I would do for that, and I'll just show real quick. It's very simple. It's a very simple process. Just grab here to there. Oh wait, no. If I'm doing the windows, duh. That's the whole point. Is let's say we grab a green, and then we'll go here to here, here to here. And again, it's very tedious. It's not the most fantastic thing to look at, but and the software that I'm using is Clip Studio Paint, and it has a tool. It's like a lasso tool. It makes it really easy to select, and then so I have to do that. Got Fishing for Life says if you put the moonlight in, it seems like I have to do a lot of shading on the most part of the surfaces, right? So whether I put the moon in or not, I'm still going to have moonlight in the composition because it takes place at night in the moonlight. The only thing that adding the moon to this piece would be to again draw the moon. I'm gonna draw the craters, and then draw the glow sort of shining off of the moon itself. So that's pretty much it as far as like the work that I would have to do. Either way, I'm going to be putting moonlight refracting on the character and the buildings and all that, and it's gonna have to be there regardless either way. So but the main thing is, would it make it too busy, too much going on in the piece to add the moon in the first place? So because there's not really a whole lot going on behind him. There will be clouds, but there's not really a whole lot going on behind him, so I could still add it just to give your eye something else to look at. So that's that. And then when I go through and do the the rest of the windows, I would make it to where, let's see, what I can do is I can select. Instead of doing that, I can go to my selection tool, which is here, and then go to rectangle. Oh wait, not rectangle, because this is not exactly straight up and down. I would select, move this, come down, move this, select there, there. Well, actually there. Because all I need to do is break up the green from the green. The yellow will act as its own barrier, border. And then I would just go through here. And let's do that. And then we'll do like a, maybe sort of a red. Okay, cool. And then here. And then the rest would be the blue. So that when I get done, oh, that's one of that. Anyway, when I get done, I can select each individual window. And let's say, because some of the windows will be turned on, some of the windows will be turned off. As far as like the lighting on the inside, because it's at night and not everybody's working late. So it just kind of gives it a little bit of diversity and doesn't look so, what do I want to say? Not busy, but just I mean, they do that, if you go to any downtown, not everybody's in the office. Some people leave the whole floor on. Some people have their individual offices. Some people have their own ambiance, so it gives it a little bit something else or something more interesting to look at. But anyway, that's just my example. I'm just going to go through here and finish coloring these buildings and separating the parts. So, oh, and as I could see, horizontal. I thought I fixed this earlier. I did fix this earlier. Interesting. Or maybe that was a different building. Okay, so I'm going to select this. And it's fine to find faults, flaws. Let's see. So over here. And then I'll press Shift. And Shift allows me, can you see that? Yeah, Shift allows me to draw that across. And then that's horizontal. I thought I did this. Maybe I jumped it. Anyway, there's that. I did because I put a line here. Interesting. Vertical. I did. I wonder. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get too far then. Okay. Maybe I did have a. Maybe the software did crash. Okay. So just add this back. And what that line does that I've added is it gives it a little bit of depth and it gives you a the appearance of a shadow. So if I go there and then shift and then go to there, it looks like it's in the shadow. There we go. And it gives it a little bit more of a 3D effect. Makes it look a little bit more 3D. Three-dimensional. There we go. And then, since we're working on this building, oh wow. Okay. There we go. All right. Go with a darker color. And you want to separate the brown from the brown. And I'll probably separate it there. Now, if you flat, or if you have flatted and you have a different method, and it's maybe a little faster than, I'm all ears. I use different methods depending on the day. Like, for example, I can take this line, make it to where it is anti-laced, and I can go through and I can maybe grab there, go down to here, do that, and across. And then if I've done my job, I can grab the paint bucket and just select that side. Nope. That's gonna color the whole thing. So somewhere in here, oh, up here. Wow. That has done that, so cool. Anyway, that's why I like doing the lasso, because it allows me to be a little bit more precise with what I'm coloring, what I'm grabbing. Ooh. Okay. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong layer. When did I start coloring that? Oh, well, let's go back. Control Z is your friend. There we go. Done. Voila. So go back to the flats layer that I was working on, or working with, and then that's why it didn't close up. Okay, cool. Cool. It's always good to know what you're doing before you do it. There we go. You can go all the way up here. Slow down a little bit. And in one fell swoop, it's all purple. Except for this little blurb. Right there. Okay. And then I can take my paint bucket, and that whole thing is filled in and done. And then when I'm done with that, I can go back through and do the individual windows and anything else that I want to separate that, you know, will help me color it. So that's always the plan, is what is going to help me in the end. Like this little recess part here, I can just grab this color, move it over a little bit, go back to my lasso and say, so for this, I want to be able to grab this section only. And maybe it's a little bit darker, maybe it's a little bit different color. But when I do that, it gives me the flexibility to do whatever I want. Now, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this. So, oh look, oh, that was pretty good. That was accidental, but whatever. All good. So there we go. And you want to get as close to the line as possible with these black lines. Just kind of color it in, just kind of like a coloring book. All the happy colors, all the happy little colors here and there. Wait. Oh, so that bleeds into that. Oh, so that didn't matter. Ooh. I know what I do. I know what I can do. Okay, cool. Do I really need that? No, I don't. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, that was for nothing. Didn't really have to do that. I can go all the way down here if I want. And there. And on this side. There. There. Okay. Whoop. Okay, and then there's the red building. Thought I might hit it, but I don't. There we go. There's that side. And this side. What did I do that for? Doesn't matter. But like if you grab it like that, and I see how I accidentally missed out on these pixels here. Just that's the whole point of the contrasting colors. And even no matter what color that I've already selected, I can always go back and change them. And I'll show you just a second. To go back and check your work. So let's say for this one, let's go with a high green, like I had on him first, and let's select this one, and then I can go and zoom in and say, oh, here, look at this. Okay, so that doesn't look very nice, right? So what I would do is I would go back to my lasso, And I would select these, and then that there. Wait. And then that looks better. And this one also looks better. So cool. So anyway, you know, that's sort of how that looks. And then right here, so it doesn't look nice, and so that can help me clean that up. And right here. And this stuff is going to be so small anyway. Like, look how small that is. That's barely anything. Like my subject is here. Look how small that green is, right? So if that's a whole page, or that's like an 8x11 page, any of the little things that I fixed probably won't show up anyway. But it's always good to, I mean, especially with digital art, I like putting digital art out there so that people can zoom in and see the sort of details that I put in. Sometimes I like hide stuff in my drawings, just for fun. But anyway, so there's that. And typically you don't really go with such a high contrast color. So I'll just shift that back down to whatever that is. And moving on, there's that. So I'll do this over here because I'm gonna do that. And since this is sort of a purple or pink, I'll go with a yellow because it's on the opposite side of the spectrum. And opposite colors are always best to work with whenever you're using this, wherever you can. So the only thing I need to separate here is from the purples. There we go. There we go. There's that. Okay. And then there's that. Look how fast we're going. And then also save early, save often. I can always yes. Yeah, overwrite. I did more work. Okay. So yeah, there was that happened because the Clip Studio crashed right before the stream. So I was like, I had to restart it. So that's why I was missing some of the work I'd already done. So I was like, but doing it again, not a problem. So anyways, something like this is in the foreground that's a little bit more integral. Oh, I must have accidentally erased some of that. That happened earlier. Okay, so right here, in this little area right here, I must have hit the eraser, or it must have saved, or there must have been some sort of glitch that happens in the software. So if you don't catch it right away, you can't say Control Z, but let's see. This will choose a line, use a black line, and we'll go back to the windows. And that was horizontal. So I separate my lines by horizontal lines and vertical lines. Vertical lines, there you go. So that way, if something happens to one of them, it doesn't happen to all of them. So this one happened to be the horizontal lines that got messed with. So very easy. Oops. Oh, let me turn on the anti-lace so it looks nice. And let me try to match the size. And that's smaller. A bit bigger. Okay. And then looks like nothing happened. And then over here, there we go. Okay, anything else? No, everything's good except for this up here. Okay. So, yeah. That's what happens. Like, you could do something with a command, and then the whole software just crashes. Just depending on how old your computer is, how much RAM it's using, all that. So looks good to me, and it'll look great way small. Nobody's gonna see it anyway, but if you're the artist, you'll know. And if you're on a live stream and people are watching it, they'll know. So here we go. So we will this. We'll go back to the other tool, the lasso, good old lasso. Oh wait, that's not it. Always remember to go back to the layer you're supposed to be working on. There you go. This is it. There you go. And look at that. Look at that amateur. Yeah. Typically when I'm doing this by myself, I'm not talking, so I'm not distracting myself. Yeah. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Not to here. Yes. There you go. And then I'll come back and haha, look at that. Okay. So I missed that. Always good to see. So that was horizontal. And it's always good to name your layers. Always name your layers so that you know what you're looking at. Okay, here we go. And then black, horizontal, here we go. There we go. Cool. That's all good. Okay. That should be everything. I don't see anything else that was messed with. I think it was just a quick little thing that I missed. Okay. Go back to that, go back to this, and we're back on schedule. Back on schedule. Okay. Let's see. All right. That looks like it crossed over a little bit. In there. Okay. Just make sure. Okay. It's not really going to make much of a difference, but I do like to be as precise as I can make myself. It just helps for when you actually need to be precise. You already have that sort of ingrained in your work ethic. So, you know, to do something, you don't feel like you're putting yourself out or going above and beyond. You just, your standard is that of not perfection, but you know, you gotta set your own standards. There we go. Nice. So if anybody is going to be in the Dallas area next month, we are going to the Fan Expo, and our booth is AP50. Let me see. I think that's right. Am I correct in this? AP50? Yes, AP50. Nice. I like it. So yeah, we'll definitely be there. So if you'll be there, that's the booth that we will be at. We'll be there for all 3 days. Oops. So stop by and say hello. Where am I watching this? Go back to OBS. Where am I? Cool. There we go. Steady. There we go. But yeah, as you can tell, flatting is tedious. and boring, but it can be relaxing if you're that kind of individual. If you're an individual that can be relaxed by just coloring, basic coloring, and oops, where'd you go? And with this, you don't have to worry about what the colors are, because it's just slapping colors down. As long as there's contrasting color, that's all you need. There we go. There we go. Oops. Done. Okay. And then, add insult to injury, we're going to go ahead and do this. So that was a yellow, so we're going to go down to like a blue. And we will... Actually, no, we can do this to here. And this to here. And then... Yeah, there you go. And when you're choosing colors to do, like I could have gone through and done the windows or whatever, but then I would have had to go through these. I don't know. Either way, whatever. Whichever way is easiest, whichever way you think is the best way to color, do it that way. I'm just doing it this way because I thought maybe that would be easier, but maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, how what I'm saying is like you could have done this. And how many steps? Let's see. This one, and then two, and then just done that. I don't know. It's the same. Same. It doesn't matter. Cool. Yeah. So we'll do that. It does not matter. It's both the same. And then, there we go. Okay, and that's that one. Oh, here. See, it's always good to do that. There you go. So then that is done. That looks good. And if I wanted to, I can go even further, which I probably will. Oh, look at that. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Fix that later. What I can do is I can say, okay, well, with this one, I'll do like a green. A forest green. And the pillars. I can make the pillars something different. That way when I color this building, because it's a little bit closer to the foreground, I can have a little bit more fun with not having, not having it look so one-dimensional. I can add slightly different variations of color to the building. Very tedious, but whatever. But I'm going to do all of these little shapes. There we go. There we go. So there's that one. And it helps in the end. You know, it makes it so much easier to do everything now. Let's see. What are the dates and the times? The times for the expo. On the expo, it is the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th of September, and the times on the 11th is from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then I don't recall for the other 2 days. You'd have to look it up. If you go to Fan Expo Dallas website, it will have the times there. But for Friday, at least, I know it starts at 4. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and as you can see, you know, it breaks it up into different individual parts, because when you look at buildings, some of the coloring is a little different, and that's to give it a little bit more of a to make it pop a little more. You know, using different types of cement or using different types of rocks, stone, or usually cement, stucco. There we go. All right. All right. Oops. Okay. This is the best stage to make errors, because you can always go back and make any sort of adjustments that you need to make. So it's always good to make all or the majority of your errors here, so when you get ready to, you know, color the way you need it or the way you want it, all the groundwork is already done for you. And then there's the little triangle shape. Oops, not that one. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so there you go. And that's how those will look. And then I can even I can even take it a step further and say, you know what, let me do this part right here. So I would go from here all the way over, wherever this would be, and then in there. And come down here and in that there. And then because I've already done that, and oh wait, nope, because of the top. Let me go ahead and grab it from here. There we go. So from here all the way over to here, and then there. And so when I select, if I take my magic selection tool, it only selects this. It doesn't select the windows, and I can select the windows individually. I can also have it select the windows to where it selects all the same color, and that's a good trick for a different time. But yeah, so that's that. And again, same thing. I can continue to do this for every single one of these horizontal sections. I can make it a different color and just give it that much more separation, so that I can go back and add so much more to it. So that's what that's about. So I'm going to continue with this color, and then I'll break this up down here. And then that should, nope, something's open. So let me here to there. Sometimes you have to manually close gaps. That's not right. Okay, so then that's this color. There we go. So that's cool. Okay. And then this over here, let's go with something this. Okay, so something down here probably needs to be closed up. Probably there to there. Okay. And since this is such a small section, I can just do that. Done. Even that. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go with like the green. There. There's that. This one, let's do purple. Let's go with a little bit. Oops. Wait, that's not what I want. There we go. we're so close to finishing off just this little bit of buildings, and then going back and doing the windows. It'd be so much easier. So that'd be something. And with this, it doesn't really matter where you go. You can just select and go. Doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah, doing this part is not the most exciting process, but a lot of people just don't like doing it. I'm in a situation where I feel like I have to do it. So, and it's also good to learn. You want to get into doing this and you want to, learn how to, you should learn the whole process. There's something that you can learn and you can apply it to your own. It's always best. That way, if you ever need anything like this, you can dig deep into your repertoire and pull it out and say, you know what? I don't need X, Y, and Z. I know how to do this myself. So be on the lookout for issue 2. We're still working on issue number 2. And we're working on trying to lock down a couple of covers for issue number 2. If you'd like to see issue number 1, go to our website. It is available on there. If you have a Kindle Unlimited account, you can go to Amazon and grab yourself a copy there. It's free. If you have a Kindle Unlimited account, that is. And I don't think we get a kickback from that, but it's available. So if you have it, check it out. And then you can be in line for issue 2. And we're going to start the issue 2 campaign very shortly. Just so that we can get that one out and the next chapter in the story into the hands of our readers. If you've gotten a book from us, then I want to thank you personally. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for grabbing something and helping us out and helping us tell the story. Go check out our website, and you can get a lot more information on all of our characters, like the one next, the one on your screen, Night Hunter. That is a mercenary in our story, and got a pretty cool backstory, and we're about to unleash a little bit more that we've been kind of holding back on. And just kind of let him have his day in the sun, if you will. That is a character that was created by my son. And since my son is not the most creative person in the world, and he created this really cool character. You know, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to highlight the heck out of this character for you just because you made something really cool. And I'm proud of you. And I want to put that out there and showcase that and draw him and have everybody understand and appreciate the cool thing that you came up with for our story. Oops. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. Super tedious and not even done. So that is that. There we go. Oh, that's weird. It says chat disconnected and successfully reconnected and disconnected and successfully reconnected. Never seen that message before. But now we're successfully connected. So if anybody wants to say something, I am here and I am glancing at the chat every now and again. So appreciate anybody who has any questions of interest. Is this boring? No, not to me. Not to me. I like it. I like pretty colors. Let's see. There we go. Almost done. Almost to the finish line for this building. And look at that. Oh, that little artifact right there. Gross. Covered it up. I covered it up before I had to cover it up. There we go. All right. That. Nope. Control Z is always your friend. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that? There we go. Nice. All right. Oh, this little section here. Don't want to miss this. How pretty that is. Woohoo! Nice. Nice. So now that I've done that, let's see. I can do this, which is a little bit of a trick, but I'm going to do it anyway. Which one should I do? No, that selects that. Okay, there. Select that. Then inverse selected area. And then choose a different color. So yellow, so we'll go with like a blue. And we'll just make it kind of, there we go. Then what I can do is I can do this. Go right here, go all the way down to here. And then that way I can have these individual windows. Oh wait, what happened? Why would it do that? Oh, I know why. Okay, so then that's not what I want to do. I'll select that. Okay, cool. So then I'll hold down Shift and scroll out. Okay. It just selects it in a little bit different area. And I will select there. Okay. Okay. So now those are selected. There we go. Now I can go back and do this. Let's go on this side and we'll Go all the way down. To there. There we go. There, done. Then go back to grab this. Same thing. All the way down. The cool thing about windows is that they're pretty symmetrical. Sometimes they're not, but sometimes they are. Usually they are. So I'm going to go up. Slow down a little bit. I think we're getting close to the end. Yeah, there it is. And then make sure all that's closed up. But again, this makes it to where I can select certain building windows and make some of them turned on and some of them turned off. And it's a foresight kind of thing, you know, so that you can have more versatility when you go back through and do this. So it gives you more options rather than having to set something up later. Might as well just set it up now. There we go. And I can even do this to where I'm on this side, to where I don't have to go through with the paint bucket. And then all of these will be colored. There you go. I don't have to do the paint bucket on that one. It's already done. And just a couple more times, and then this side of the building will be complete. Fast. There we go. And as long as you have straight lines, oops, that should be an easy thing to do. So it's always best to use the line shape tools and the curve tools and all that. I mean, you can do everything by hand, but it just makes it a lot easier. There we go. Get that one too. Just makes it a lot easier, especially when you're doing something like buildings, something non-organic. That's easy. Easy fix. A couple more times. And then we'll be done with this little building base. There we go. Fix that one. And that's it. And oh, here, down here. Gotta do these. Same thing. That up because that thing was in the way, obstructing my view. Not cool. Right down. Yeah. We fix this side. There we go. That looks nice. And then one more. Our little happy buildings. There we go. There. Now I can deselect, and that building is done. So that, you know, when I'm going through and I'm coloring this stuff, there's my magic tool. I can select any window, cancel, any window. That's the building selected, but any window I can select, and I can do whatever I want with it. So that's the point. That's the reason for doing that. So there we go. So let's go with this same thing. Now for this one, I didn't have to do all these different colors. I just sort of did that for illustration. But yeah, so that's it. So let's go with, you know what I can do? Oops. This one and this one. Okay. So then therefore, I'll do this one and this one and this one. Okay. Now what I can do is I can just go through here and see which one do I have that green. Say okay. I'll do the same thing. I want to select, and then select, and then I can go through here and do the same thing. There. Oops. So that's done. And then what I can do, I can select this one and this one, and then alternate with the pink. And say, okay, cool. So I'll do this one pink. There we go. And then this one pink. And then done. And then when I look, I'm like, okay, I see this little bit of issue there, and then see that selection tool is a little off. That's why I say you can always go back through and correct what you see, any problems or any issues that come up. And it's always best to do it or find it in this stage. Because when you apply the real colors and then you see something like this, you got to go back and fix this this file here, so that whenever you use it as the reference file, it will reference the separations correctly. There we go. But again, you know, like I said, it's tedious, but it definitely helps, especially when you have something like this where you have your buildings and they all, you know, I mean, but yeah, again, same thing, like, you know, zooming out, I mean, that's so small, and when it prints, you're not going to see the problems anyway. You're not going to see it. It's way too small. But it's always good practice. It's always good practice to try to do the best you can. Let's see. Whew. But yeah, I don't know how much more fun this could be. But yeah, guys, if you go and you check out our website, let me pull it up real quick. If you pull up our website, which is here, you drag this over, boom. Did a lot of work to it myself, and so we have a lot of the, oh look, hey look, flattening digitally, it's right there on the front the website. So yeah, click on that and you can watch us. You can start reading. So issue number 1, you can start reading the first 3 pages if you haven't, you know, purchased a copy from us yet. And then after you read 3 pages, if you like what you see, then go ahead and grab. It is very time consuming. That is correct. Very time consuming, but it does help. It does pay off in the end. You can go to the super shorts. We have 1 pages that a couple of our artists have put together. You can check out the PDF. If you did like what you read as far as the first 3 pages and you'd like to read more, definitely grab our PDF from the website. You can download it and then read the whole comic. Same thing with printed edition. If you want something printed, you can click on printed edition and grab one of our prints, which are right here. This one's actually sold out right now, but we have ordered to replenish cover A. Once we're out of cover B, C, D, and E, that's it. They're completely done. Not reordering those. But as of right now, they are available on the website. If you want to grab your copy, you can have it. And just know that it is a specialized, specific, number of copies that we ordered for those prints. So you can do that. And then, of course, if you have the Kindle version, click on there. It will take you to, it'll take you to Amazon. And you can download it there. And then you can check out our characters. And we have some bios on there. So that's interesting. And then you can always click on the next person. And check them out. So again, same thing. We've done a lot of work to the website. Would appreciate anybody go out and check it out and let us know what you think. So, but for that, I'd just like to tell everybody, hey, if you stop by, thank you. And thank you for the comments. And I'll see you guys next time on the ZeeverComics channel. Later.